is not a security. And I think that, as time goes by, that'll become clearer. A security is something that represents ownership in a company and gives you rights to dividends, give you rights to governance, things like that. The amount of misinformation on this one, I think, is also profound. If Ripple, the company, shut down tomorrow, the XRP ledger would continue to operate. So if XRP is a security, it's a security of what? I don't spend a lot of time.
Well, you seem pretty relaxed about it.
I actually am pretty relaxed. And I think the facts are on our side.
As one of the original architects of the XRP ledger, what are the biggest changes that you've seen in the last year?
Oh, it would definitely have to be the increase in decentralization, becoming more decentralized than either Bitcoin or Ethereum. The number of validators operated by Ripple on the Ripple recommended UNL has dropped to a very small percentage. And so the network now is operationally decentralized in a way that those other cryptocurrencies just aren't.
David, how does Bitcoin or Ethereum differ from XRP?
The biggest difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum and the XRP ledger is proof of work versus consensus. Bitcoin and Ethereum use proof of work, which hasn't delivered on its promise of decentralization the way consensus has. They also have much, much higher latency. So a Bitcoin transaction, you're looking at between 10 minutes to an hour to become confident that the transaction will succeed, versus on the order of 5 seconds with the XRP ledger. There are also changes that are in the form of new features. One of the features that I think is very exciting is a feature that would allow people to launch well, stablecoins are the obvious use case, but it's not just stablecoins. It's essentially assets pegged to some external value. Features similar to that exist on other systems, but the interesting thing about this is that the liquidity is guaranteed by the ledger mechanic.
What is it like to be a non-bank financial services provider operating at the intersection of these very traditionally regulated financial institutions and less traditionally regulated, less traditional financial institutions?
It's exciting. I feel a obligation to advocate for there are these new technologies that we can use for the betterment of economic value to our citizens, to our businesses, even to central banks. And I think to the extent we can focus on, hey, these are new technologies that can be used in that way. Like the earliest days of the internet, can these technologies be used in illicit ways? Yes, and certainly we saw the early days of the internet and people called for bans of the internet.
And to be clear, the current days of the internet as well.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah. Well, although there was a much louder, higher decibel level call in maybe the 90s when people were, I think, more intimidated by how these technologies are being used. And I think we're seeing that play out in the world of blockchain as well. I thought it was interesting you described the UAE regulatory as light touch.
Said it was described as light touch.
Oh, described as light touch, all right. I actually give huge credit to the UAE.
Do you have a VARA license?
No, we do not. Although we might, I don't know the exact answer to that, but we do not currently. The point I would make, though, is...
You do not.
Thank you. The point I would make, though, is the UAE has done the work to codify what the regulations are. I think the challenge, and we discussed this before we got up here, I think the vast majority of players in the crypto space want to be good actors. But I think we have to be clear about what that means. And I think one of the challenges is, and I very much agreed with something the commissioner said, we talk about regulating crypto. I think we should, that's an abstract thing to say from my point of view. We need to regulate the activity. What is it that we're doing? So Ripple is in the business around cross-border payments. Our customers are banks. Our customers are regulated institutions. You can't have a non-KYC, know your customer transaction, et cetera. There are lots of regulations around payments, like Know Your Customer, like AML, anti-money laundering, like OFAC compliance in the United States, et cetera, anti-terrorism finance. So I think when we say crypto's not regulated, I hear that and I think, I don't know what that means. Like Ripple's a very regulated company in lots of different jurisdictions, not yet in UAE perhaps, although I don't know the exact status in UAE. The point, as much as anything, I think it's a misnomer to describe crypto as an unregulated business. In the US, you have in the SEC, someone at the chair saying it's the Wild West. Look, there are clearly examples where that's true, but there are a lot of people solving real problems for real customers and taking the air and the froth out of the hype and speculative bubble that really was true in crypto, I think is really healthy.
What's up, guys? XRP is now on its final stages, and it's about time to decide whether or not you're planning to invest in this crypto. If you haven't already, you'll probably miss out on one of the most prime opportunities to make your first million in crypto in under a month. But before we get into all the details of that, let's roll that intro. As always, welcome welcome to Money Side, your favorite crypto channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you get updates when we drop new videos. Don't forget to smash that like button, and you can always leave a comment or a question in the section below. The U.S. government went after the one crypto that could easily give the dollar a run for its money. That's the reason why you don't hear any lawsuit against Ethereum and Bitcoin. Though these two great giants stand tall in the crypto world, they have very little use cases in the real world. That potentially brings about challenges when it comes to mass adoption. However, XRP is quite useful in the real world. It acts as the perfect bridge currency to convert money from one currency to the next with ease. More importantly, upon full implementation of this coin, cross-border payment fees will be significantly reduced. And that's a plus for businesses and companies that are trying to reach the global market. In fact, there's barely any downside to using XRP in the financial system. So why did the SEC go after Ripple if it's not for selfish reasons? Even in the middle of this heated lawsuit, Ripple executives still maintain being in the limelight and answer questions confidently without any hesitation. Now, does that sound like a company that's selling securities and trying to hide it from the regulatory body? I think not. We need to take a moment outside the mainstream media and analyze what's happening in our own terms. Then, and only then, will we come to a clearer solution as to what is happening. The fact is, Ripple is on the right side of the law, but Gary Gensler isn't. That's so unfortunate because most dominant media houses represent him as the knight in shining armor who is saving investors from the wild, wild west that is crypto. If you've gotten your hands dirty in the crypto market, then you'll agree with me. There are truly genuine companies in this world that are trying to make a difference. However, regulation by enforcement that the SEC is implementing is not helping.
A Seagate or an Amazon or an Airbnb or an Uber. These companies all make large numbers of small payments. Amazon has thousands of merchants that they make payments to. Uber, if you're in the Philippines and you're a driver and you need money for milk, Uber would love you to drive for them and buy milk right that day. But they need efficient payments. They need payments that are as reliable as email for that to happen. And that doesn't exist. And each of these companies employs literally hundreds of people just in their payment division. And if you imagine if you ran a payment company, you would love to go to any of these new corporates and say, hey, fire your hundreds of payment people, we'll do all your payments. But there's nobody who can do that. And so if you imagine if I want to start a regional competitor to Airbnb, let's say I want to do Airbnb just in the Boston area, but I want to take incoming payments from all around the world. The solution can't be that I hire 100 payment engineers to make that business work. That can't be the right solution. So this is going to change. This is broken and someone is going to fix it. And this is a tremendous opportunity.
Sooner rather than later, most, if not all, crypto companies will move shops to friendlier countries like Canada. As a matter of fact, Ripple is already expanding their offices in Canada, which could be an indicator that they may be about to move. All in all, XRP will still flourish despite the negative press. When all that negativity dies down, this coin will rule the crypto world. At the moment, it's just a waiting game. As always, do your own research and always trade safely, guys. Please keep in mind, we're not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. Let us know what you think in the comment section below, and let's have a conversation. Thank you as always for watching. Don't forget to like this video. Please click on that subscribe button below and turn on notifications so you get informed when we drop new video. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next Money Side.